We just had that pretty substantial leak for Avengers Doomsday. But on top of this, some brand new reports are coming at us, and might I say conveniently timed with these leaks that were never out there before. It's kind of funny how this works. So let's look at what's been stated, and also what can we get from these reports that might be true, and that might just be pulling off of what we recently saw that make it make sense. Okay guys, so if you've been keeping up with what's been going on, and I think it's been pretty hard to ignore the massive leak that Marvel Studios suffered with tons of concept art, I of course did a quick breakdown of it, and in one image, as I detailed it, you got Doom sitting on the throne in white. It looks like God Emperor Doom, and then you have Sue Storm by his side, clearly his wife, their young child. I assume it's Franklin, that he probably just manipulate into being who he wants, or maybe they had their own. We don't really know. I'm going to assume it's just Franklin. On top of this, we got Sheriff Doctor Strange, who's, like the hand of the king, if you will. And then Yelena is gathering up people and enslaving them. So something's clearly going on. Well, off of this, we now got reports from insiders. And again, take this loosely, because how convenient is it that none of them knew any of this stuff, right? Nobody reported like a Marvel 1602 style God King Doom. But now they got all the info coming at them after the leak. So again, please take this with a grain of salt, because these people just make stuff up to sell their scoops and subscriptions on Twitter and Patreon and whatever. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So I do need to note that when these images hit the DeviantArt page that they were at, they were labeled 2002 to early 2024. So obviously these images are well over a year old, some of them, So things have changed. Other concept artists have come on. They've redesigned things. The story's changed as more actors get added, while some might be booked up. So elements have more than likely changed. But what we're hearing is, at its core, Doctor Doom will in fact be doing, and I talked about this I think in like November or December, assembling his own council and team of evil do-gooders that he controls, and he's got full power of everything. Now, whether or not this in any way connects to Doctor Doom already ruling the multiverse or something like that, we don't know. But one report is stating that Doom has already conquered worlds, and that this is what he's done to one specific world. Now, if that's the case, it's interesting that he's conquered a world that looks like it takes place in the 1600s. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, how are they still getting some of this advanced tech? Like Yelena having, like, this shock chain collar contraption. I don't even know what it is, right? Like, you guys see what I'm saying? Like, things don't line up with this report. Whatever the case is, apparently a big crux of the story will be unraveling this mystery and what's going on with the bigger mystery here, what they're trying to do with Doctor Doom in this point of the story. And that apparently when it all unfolds, we're going to see in a sort of a backwards manner of how we got to this place. So what I think they mean by that is the story's going to start obviously with Doctor Doom running rampant. And then we're possibly going to get flashbacks to his rise, which, again, they got to be careful with how they handle that, because that's a lot to tackle at once. Like, there's a lot of story here that you need to tackle. Because if we look at some of the other concept art, which, again, I'm going to get into, there's images of, like, Star-Lord and Vision who are rooming. How and why did it get to this? Why are they just sort of lazy sitting around on a couch watching TV? Shouldn't they be doing super heroic things? What's going on with Vision's family? What's the result of his encounter with Jocasta and that? On the other hand, you also got other images that are out here that we see. You obviously got the whole Hulk element of everything. The planet/World War Hulk scenario where there's just Hulks everywhere. Is that part of this universe? Is that part of medieval times? Because it looks like it, like that's what the image looks like. So it again brings up more questions than answers. And what I think is really interesting is that if you look at some of the other like hand-drawn concept art, you can see Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange in front of him. They're talking to someone who we can't make out who it is because it's the back of their head. Maybe it's Peter Parker, but I don't know. And there's two children by the side of Doctor Doom and obviously Invisible Woman. So is this potentially already leaning into Doctor Doom has won? Like, did he already win, just like he did in the comics after Secret Wars and he rebuilt the universe? Or is there something more to this where we're seeing maybe this universe and he's going to have to escape it due to what I speculate is an incursion that happens, and then he wants ultimate revenge on everybody? Because that to me would then make it personal. He had his perfect world, and now it's taken away from him, and he's like, hold up. I can go get my own Sue Storm. I can get my child back. I can control everybody because I found them again. I think that that would work. And one thing that I saw a insider report that I find not believable at all, but I'll bring it up here, is that apparently Spider-Man in this could be up for a major twist. And this twist could be crucial to Spider-Man 4. Now, what this is, who really knows? Reportedly, this might involve the black suit and Null, but a lot of insiders now have backed off of Null because I think they all speculate that they were completely wrong. So they're trying to pretend like they never stated it. So, again, we're back in an interesting position where before this concept art, we knew far less than we know now. But at the same time, the concept art has now added so much more based on what we heard from insiders that were all wrong and clearly not reporting the right thing as they were making things up, that now it makes everything we heard like just unbelievable because the concept art doesn't match with it. And one thing that was stated was that these leaks apparently might have come from a direct source that is more in the know, which, yeah, they're a concept artist. That's what they do. They know. They're asked to draw stuff. But apparently they might have been let go due to revamps of the story. And that's why the profile wasn't updated. Which, in whatever case, and if that's the case, fine. That's just how it works. You get hired, you finish your job, you move on. But the notion that they're changing the story completely and going after different artists doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Because you don't need to change the whole story if for some reason, I don't know, Paul Bettany can't come back as Vision. You can swap somebody else in as the roommate, and there you go. Like, you could literally swap in Peter Parker being like, oh yeah, Star-Lord want to connect with his buddy, and they're both down on their luck, so they're just hanging out watching stuff as roommates. And there you go. Like, it's an easy swap. So again, we're going to have to wait and see what's going on here, but yeah, safe to say these leaks add more questions than answers to what we already thought we knew, and now we don't. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.